Welcome to the podcast with your favorite cash flow guys, Mike and Blaine, giving you the best advice while having a beer. When you're running a business, there are problems every day. Let Mike and Blaine help you out and guide your way. Cheers to the good times with Mike and Blaine for business, beer, and BS.
Hey, it's another episode of Mike and Blaine. I'm Mike Blaine, also known as Cashflow Mike. That is my friend and my partner. His name is Blaine Burke. He's the CEO and founder of Dry Run, the best cash flow forecasting software on the planet. What's up, man? Where'd you go? Oh, there you are.
I've never seen that before. Riverside has a new surprise for me every week.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, you know all the problems you were having with like LinkedIn and Facebook and all that. Did you hear today? Today is a headline. MySpace is going to make a comeback. I thought it was because of all the complaints about social media now. Right?
Yeah,
and I can't even remember MySpace that much, but did you have to go to somebody's wall and post on their wall, right? It wasn't like some massive feed that went through. I think you actually had to connect with a person and write them a message on their wall that was either public or private.
I think I had a MySpace page for about 30 seconds. I honestly made it a billion years ago. Don't think I ever used it, and then left. So yeah, I don't know. I just remember seeing something about the premise of they want to bring real connection back or something like this, which is still digital. So I don't know. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what comes of it.
Yeah, but if it's one-to-one, like I can only talk to you. I can't just publish out there forever for everybody. Right? I think that's what it was. And the only reason I had one is because I hired a marketing person, and she said, "You need a MySpace page," and I said, "What's a MySpace page?" Like, who goes to a MySpace page for a bar? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's good. Who would do that?
It's the same way we got our TikTok account. It's a TikTok account.
Yeah, I ditched it. I ditched TikTok. Dude, you're not trying to teach cash flow to 14-year-olds. So I don't do TikTok.
No. I think we have stuff automatically flowing there, but I haven't actually checked the account. So I don't know if anyone actually follows us there. It's just sort of out in the ether somewhere.
Yeah.
Doing its thing, whatever. That's all right. I can do
Whatever it does. But yeah, it was so funny. So that kind of leads me to today, right? When all this stuff that we now know over the last, we'll say 14 years, 15 years, people are starting to go, hey, I'm going to unplug this for a second. I'm going to get offline, right? I'm going to go and do my own thing without you people for a second. So it's going to be a good topic.
It is. And I find it really intriguing that you almost have to pay someone to do it, but I also get it because it's too easy. It's so easy. You've got device, one in my pocket. Like there's no shortage of devices, no shortage of screens, and no shortage of stuff that you always want to look at. So man, I get it. I can see it. I understand it, but I sure hope I never get to the point where I have to pay someone to disconnect me.
All right, so don't give too much away. You haven't done the jingle yet. So, but hey, this is Mike and Blaine, Business, Beer, and BS, and this is where we talk about a lot of BS, which you just got a little bit of, but business, helping you build yours or understand others, and then 3, we talk a little bit about beer, right? Like, what are we drinking, right? What you got?
Exactly.
What are you drinking today?
So I think I had this one a little while ago. It's just my fridge is getting a little dry. I actually have to do a beer run, but it is the Bent Stick 4:30 p.m. stout and late afternoon stout. It's dark, but it's still early. That's what's on the can. I love it. If you haven't been to Bent Stick in Edmonton, terrific place. It's right in a Happy Beer Street area, right close to Monolith and all the other cool places. And why I like it, 4.5%. So it's kind of a Guinness level lighter beer, even though it's nice, dark, rich stout. What do you got?
I went super weird. Only because it's like, well, first of all, have you ever been tricked by the McRib? They bring it back. You're like going, oh yeah, McRib, I'm gonna go get one. Then you buy one and you taste it and it's terrible.
Yes, but I will say that it's been I bet you 20 years, because I will say the last time it still sticks in my brain that that was really gross. So I haven't had one for a long time. Just my opinion. Some people love it. I did not. That was
Okay, so this is the one. This is a beer that I go by all the time, and I'm like going, I'd like to try it, but I'm scared. Right? It's one of those, right? Then you're like going, oh, should I try it? I don't know, but there's something about it. And in St. Louis, where I was, we used to have what's called a pickleback. You know what I mean by that?
not a clue. No.
All right, it's when you take a shot, but then they give you a second shot of like pickle juice.
Oh, gross. Okay. Ugh.
Right? But it was really good. I actually like, a little bit of pickle juice. So this beer has been tempting my ass for about 5 years, saying, I bet you won't buy me. I bet you won't try it. I bet you won't do it. So
Nice.
I'm going to have Donna's pickle beer just so I can get it out of my headspace every time I
Out of
walk
your
by
system.
it.
I got to say, I love the can. It feels like
Yeah,
1975 to me. Like, I love it. It just so, that's a beautiful can. Just a cool feel to it.
Hey, their tagline is you'll relish every sip.
Oh, that even makes it better. I would not be able to turn that down either. That is just
Oh my
way,
God.
way, way too awesome.
So there I am. It's either going to be the best thing and it's just going to satisfy every craving I thought I've had, or I'm going to go, damn it, I got McRibbed.
Yeah.
Once again.
I think it's going to be good. I think it'll be like having a beer and some dill pickle chips all at the same time.
There you go. And I don't like those. It's so weird.
You're in trouble. You're in trouble. I love dill pickle chips. Okay, so I will make fun of you for having beer with pickle juice, but I shouldn't make too much fun, because up in Canada here, it's really common to go into a bar and say, I'll have a beer with a side of clam. And do you know what that is?
Yeah, clamatos, of course. Yeah, I mean, they do it down here. Yeah.
Oh, do they? Because there's areas in the States that I know they look at you like you are weird. So I didn't know that was some states had it. Okay.
They even have it in the can. Budweiser has it in the can down here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a fairly new thing? Because it is a very long, it's been around Canada for decades. Like, it's a thing here.
I don't know about decades, but I can say decade. Probably.
Oh, okay.
Decade.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Okay. Well, I thought it was just a uniquely Canadian weirdness, but I guess
now, there's a lot that's up there that's weird and Canadian, but
it's true.
That's not one of them.
But that's not one of them. Okay. Well, I learn something new every day. I know it's not big in all the states, that's for sure.
But I don't like it. I don't like, the Clamato.
I don't think it's very good in a beer, actually. I've had a beer before, but that was 30, 40 years ago. Maybe not 40. Maybe actually that might be a little illegal, but it's been a long time since I've had a beer with Clamato juice, and probably only had it once.
Yeah. The old guys, when I ran the bars, the old guys would come in and want tomato juice in their beer, and they call it like a bloody something or else. I don't know if it's bloody bull or I don't think it was bull or something else.
Also doesn't seem appetizing at all to me.
Yeah, but I think they came in early, like for breakfast.
Okay.
So it's almost like a what the hell is that called? Bloody Mary.
Yeah, it feels like a breakfast. Feels very much like a coffee Bailey's kind of thing. That's what I kind of do for that. But
so one of the cool things about the show is that we have beer sponsors. People actually buy our beer for us.
Yes. Let me get my.
Well, let me tell you about the first one. Her name is Karen Harrison up in Michigan. She is one of the cash flow experts that love this show, that loves it so much. She goes, you know what? At the beginning of the year, I'm buying the whole year. And it's easy to do because it's only $5 an episode, right? And her advertisements go out every week, all year long, for only $5 a week. And I'm going to tell you this. If you haven't already, go to Amazon. She is an Amazon bestseller, Karen Harrison. And her book is called Stop Growing Broke, Start Growing Profits. Go check it out. It's worth the read.
I'm going to thank Devin, because Devin, biggest LSU fan on the planet, also Netflix superstar. Thanks, Devin. Always a huge supporter of the show. Really appreciate you. And go LSU.
Yeah.
For whatever they're playing in the middle of summer.
So he asked me, he goes, hey, do I owe? Like, I don't know. I don't know. That's Blaine's job. So I guess when Blaine stops saying your name, you owe.
I have no idea. I didn't even take a note on it. I'm following you, man. Devin, yeah, you're probably over about 6 weeks by now because neither of us keep track of it.
Like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. So speaking of people that that just subscribe and we talk about them, subscribe is the way to go. Devin, if you want to never miss another time where you have to say, I wonder if I owe, you don't have to if you subscribe.
Yes.
Right?
Fancy.
You just put it on a subscription and it'll just come out and you don't have to worry about it. Set and forget. We won't forget because we will drink the beer every single week on your dime. And I'll buy you a beer when I come to LSU. So when I come down to LSU this fall, I'll buy you a beer.
That sounds amazing. And we do have one of our sponsors actually does subscribe. I'm going to pass it over to you.
There you go. His name is Trey. Trey and I co-parent his daughter, and we're awesome at it. If there's two dads that ever did a wonderful job of co-parenting, I think it's he and I. I mean, we talked yesterday. It's just every time I see him, I smile. I mean, it's one of those things. So I'll tell you what, he loves family. He subscribes. He believes in this show. So thank you, Trey.
And CPA Larry Weinstein, the absolute best CPA in Houston, Texas. And he has a new book, which, do you have a copy of the book there to hold up?
I do. Well, I will get the copy of the book.
If you do, we will show the copy of Larry's new book. You got to check this out. And if you're looking at the Cash Flow Cowboy, and if you're looking for a CPA, especially if you're near Houston, go hook up with Larry.
Yeah. The Banker's Edge. Matter of fact, he was really kind. I tell you what, he was really kind. I was at the banker school all last week, and guess what he did? He gave every banker in my class a free copy of the book. It was fantastic. Nice. I mean, just what a man. I'm telling you what, it's called The Banker's Edge, and it's about building better relationships. So there is a way to be conversational, to be relational with financial information, and he's one of the best at it.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks again, Larry. Really appreciate it. And last but not least,
you bring up neighbor Pat.
Neighbor Pat? Yeah, is he not bringing you enough beer? Are you not bringing beer?
Oh no, he's like slipped or something. Like he says, "Oh, I'm brewing some. I got something coming. I got this, that, and the other." He comes down. He sits in my chair. He drinks the beer out of my fridge. I don't know. Should we even talk about it?
We just did. Thanks, Pat.
No, thank you, Pat. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm just messing with you. I hadn't seen him, right? I'm calling him up like, "Hey, dude, I ain't seen you in like 2 or 3 weeks." He goes, "You've been traveling." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that part." But yeah, so he came down. We sat out in the driveway. Didn't play cornhole, but we did catch up like two old boys will do, and it was good. Good night.
Nice. So now we're actually going to get into the topic for today. And before we find out where you came up with this idea, I am going to play your jingle because you always make a jingle up for us. And this is what we're talking about today.
Buzz, scroll, there goes the night. Doing a concert instead of watching it live. Lock up the phone and pick up a beer. It's Mike and Blaine. Are you still here? Business, beer, and BS. Business, beer, and BS.
I'm always curious about which one you pick, right? Because I send him 2 every week.
I thought this one was kind of fun. I will say, though, I thought it ended like 3 different times. It's like, okay, it's over. And then it just keeps going. It's got even more in store for us. So whatever, we'll take it.
All right. So, if you didn't catch it, because there was probably too much going on in that one, right? Usually I'm a little bit more vocal heavy. And this time we were a little bit more like, because I want it to be like distractions. That was the instructions I gave AI, like going, "Hey, I want like buzzers going off and stuff like this, just tinging and pinging, just like, phones do." And here's what we would think about this is that night before last, Mallory and Courtney bought this card game, and it's like 3 sections. It's like reflections, collections, and something else. All right. There's 3 categories of cards. And I don't even know the name of the game. I didn't ask, but it was really interesting because everybody picks a card and you just ask the question and the other people have to answer it. Right. So, and they bought it to carry with us when we go to restaurants. Why? Because they want to put away the phone so we're actually talking to each other. And these are deep questions. They're like going, what's something I wish I understood about you more, or those type of things, or you understood about me more, those type.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, that is not only important but impressive. That's what as a family group we're trying to do right now.
Mhm.
So I just kind of said, is this kind of normal? And then I don't know what it was. I said it out loud, and Jeff Bezos threw it on, threw it on Alexa, and then Mark Zuckerberg threw it on, Facebook. And I've seen it everywhere where people were actually going to places or experiences and paying to have their phone taken away.
Yeah, that's amazing,
Right.
but honestly, not that surprising, because I think there's a lot of people that are seriously addicted to their. I almost think you're either seriously addicted to your devices or mildly addicted to your devices. I don't think there's much else there.
Well, let's start here. When did you get your first phone? Because if we're saying that's the thing we're now addicted to, when did you get your first one? Because I can tell you back then, there was no way I could have become addicted to it.
Oh yeah, no, the first phone, it was a Nokia, and it was like a big one that was actually in the giant leather case, because it had to be. It was almost like what people would have around their house. Well, I don't even know, do people have those anymore? It was a Nokia. I think it was probably 1996. I'm guessing that was our first mobile phone. Not something you'd ever get addicted to. It didn't do anything. You just phone. And then, moving through like Trio. I don't know if you guys remember Palm Trio. That was the first smart device, but it wasn't very smart. And then like, BlackBerry, I had Blackberries for a while. And I don't think it was all pretty easy to put down until the iPhone. And the iPhone changed things, because suddenly you had a web browser and you had apps and you had games and you had all this other stuff, legit games, like not the little sneaky thing, like legit stuff. And now it's a full computer.
Yeah, well, think back then. So mine was about 95, because my first child was about ready to be born, and I was a state trooper at the time, and I didn't want to miss it, and I didn't want and believe it or not, to get a hold of me in the patrol car in 95. So think about this. In 95, my wife would have had to call the desk and then send me a radio message in the car to get in touch with me, right? And then I would have to go find a phone.
Oh,
So
man. Yeah.
think about, hey, and I thought I had it bad then. Then you read stories about state troopers like in the 50s, where they had businesses around town. Whereas if they needed to say something not on the radio, the radio dispatchers would go, hey, we need to talk to you. And they would go into a business and use the phone at the business.
Because it was kind of open to the public, because it was just like CB radio or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
weird. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so I didn't have it that bad where I had to go find a phone, like in a business to just learn regular stuff. But so we got a bag phone, right? Just, I don't even know what model it was or anything like that. It was just a small bag, had the handle on it. You could carry in and out, plug it into the car cigarette lighter, right? Car cigarette lighter. So that's what you plugged it into. And you got charged by the minute. One of the best ways to keep people off the phone is charge them by the minute. Right? And it was a crazy amount. It was like 30 cents or something, 25 or 30 cents a minute or something crazy. And then all of a sudden they went to free nights and weekends. I'm like, oh, well, I'll just call you later. Call you tomorrow on Saturday. And that made it better. But when we switched to smartphones, there was a data usage, right? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
There was a limiting factor of how much phone you could use. And that when that went away, people got addicted.
Yeah.
As soon as you took away, the most discriminating factor in the world, money, it became addictive.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to believe how much the world has changed in the last. I'm trying to think of when did the iPhone come out, and when, like you said, like the price on data and that, like that was probably the big one, where it actually came down and you could use your phone almost anywhere all the time. that's probably in the last 10 years. Do you think? Maybe a little longer.
It may be a little bit longer than that because I was still at Finnegraph in Seattle when you had unlimited plans. They were expensive.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but for me, I'm like, I'd rather pay a fixed amount that's a little higher for me today than not know, right?
Yeah. So yeah, you're probably right. I'm trying, when did I have my first iPhone? Was it 2007 when they came out? 8, 9, 8, 7? I can't remember now.
Yeah. No idea.
It was a little while after that. But yeah, you're right. Like if it was 2010 even, then you're actually looking at like 15, 16 years already. Like that's a long time. But it's changed dramatically. Like we've talked about how much culturally everything has changed, but has anything changed culture more than the mobile phone?
I don't think in my lifetime, I mean, the Walkman could be as close, right? Because I mean, it exploded on the scene, like everybody had a Walkman just because I wanted to hear music. And back then, I didn't want to carry a boombox on my shoulder.
Yeah.
It was cooler to have this because I wanted to skateboard. I wanted to ride bikes. I wanted to do that. And it was easier to have a Walkman on in the 80s.
Yeah, I don't think it would have nearly the impact as a phone, like as a device where people are glued to them 24 hours a day. So it feels like, I know they're not, but like they're on there all the time and you're inundated with information. At least a Walkman was music. And you wouldn't really do that like all day, all night. I don't think it was massively transformative for its time. But I think this has had a much bigger impact, a much more like compounding impact on people.
Yeah. So that leads me to believe like you see it all the time. You can't go into a public space right now and look around and there isn't at least one person at a table looking at a phone.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
It just, and we were in Boulder all last week and everywhere we went, I think Courtney and I were the only two people talking when everybody else would be sitting together and on their phone. Now, that's not to say we don't get our phone because I don't know what it is. We are in the position in life where we can never say, I don't know. I asked her a question. She asked me a question. One of us just looks it up and goes, oh, well, here it is. And there's something about that drive to like going just to know the answer, even if it's something dumb, like how tall is so-and-so? That's the dumbest question to ever ask. Why would I care to know how tall, we'll say Ryan Gosling is? Why would I care?
Maybe you're drafting for your community basketball team and you want someone with a little bit of height. I don't know. I don't even know how tall he is.
I don't think in my childhood I would have asked that question, but now all of a sudden I'm 50. I'm like, well, you see these guys. Now, how tall is he?
I will say that in my childhood, it would have been really handy because probably once a week, the conversation would come up with how tall somebody is and how much they weighed because it was either the new centerman, right winger, left winger, defense.
Yeah. Hockey. Yeah. Hockey.
You drafted a kid. How tall is he? How big was he? You always wanted to know that stuff, So it would have been handy for that stuff. Just a direct pipeline to hockey stats, I think would have been pretty cool.
All right. So I'm not at this point yet, but I've had some things where it's been really interesting. And I'm like, I could see why somebody would do it, which means walk into a business. And when you walk in to pay them to do whatever, I don't care if it's, a restaurant, a bar, a comedy club, a concert, you agree to put your phone in a bag or a box and then come get it later or get it out later. And I'm like we're at the point where being unplugged is a luxury. People are paying for that privilege of not having the phone. That's how addictive it is that people would pay to not use it.
Now, how do you self-manage or monitor? Like, what's your personality with it? Because I think some people are more like can't stop kind of thing, right?
Um, I've been in and out. I think there's some addiction to it, and I think that there's times when I leave it in another room and I don't even know where it is. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So I think there's a little, and so I think the closer it is to me, the more likely it is I'll grab it.
Yeah.
And
it becomes, it has such a habit, right?
yeah. Now, I mean, here, look, I don't know if you can see it or not. I just hold it on this. And if I just keep it on this charger on the desk, guess what I don't do? I don't pick it up.
Not fiddling around with it. Yeah.
If it's laying around the desk or if it's in my pocket, guess what I do? I pick it up. So to me, to self-moderate, I think keeping it on the charger kind of away from me, I'm less likely to pick it up. Now,
Yeah.
some people watching this video go like, yeah, dumbass, you're sitting in front of a big ass, a big phone computer, right?
Monitors everywhere here.
So you don't need that little one. You can do everything you have. But that's not true about the little games I love to play, right? Because Courtney will put on a show that I'm really not interested in, but I like spending time with her in the same room. I'll pick it up and play a little game. She's watching a show I don't like. And, well, she goes, I've never seen a 50-some-year-old man play games on the phone before. And now every time we go out, I'm like, oh, well, look at that guy. He's playing a game.
There's another one, 50-some-year-old. There's another one, 60-some-year-old.
Apparently everybody does it.
Yeah.
So
it's I've been when I notice, suddenly I'll take notice of, man, I think I've been on this thing too long. And then I try and sort of self-moderate. Like I don't have any sounds on my phone. I have my ringer. Calls don't come through. They go automatically to voicemail unless it's on my list. I had an Apple Watch. I literally got rid of it because I'm like, it was buzzing in my ear like all the time. And so I try and pull it down. And a lot of times at night, I'll like in the evening, I'll go and I'll throw my phone on the charger like you have. And then I'll just leave it in another room and it'll be, every once in a while though, I'll go back to my phone and go, oh shit, I just missed like a bunch of messages or something. And I feel a little bad about that, but I think it's much healthier and it's still too easy. Like I got a tablet. It's still too easy to be reading stuff all the time and looking stuff up all the time. Right.
yeah. And one of the cool things I saw, like when I lived in Seattle and even now, there's a rise in board game places. Meaning you can go to a place and play with a board game with other people. And that was kind of cool. So I'm like going, is that really an increase or is just perception? Maybe I started seeing more of it. And then I ran across this little place in Washington, D.C. called Hush Harbor. You ever heard of it?
Never know.
So he started off just doing phone-free comedy events, right? He'd have a comedian come in there so that they put your phone in this pouch. It's just like David Blaine did. When I went to David Copperfield, has you put your phone in a pouch so you don't record whatever he's doing, right? Maybe try to figure out his tricks. Well, he expanded it after people's like going, I kind of like this, you know? So now every time you walk into this bar, you have to put your phone in this pouch, and it's a company called Yonder. I don't know what Yonder really is. I didn't look it up. Maybe you can look it up. I don't know, but YONDR, because I'm like, I'm going to look at that later. What is a Yonder pouch? Well, when he takes your phone, he also gives you access to books and board games and playing cards, and everything is deliberately designed around having a conversation and being in a community with no screens. So I'm like, is that something we would do? I mean, would you visit a phone-free bar if they had this policy saying you have to do it? You don't have to play the games or talk to anybody. You just can't pull out your phone.
I got no problem with that. I just would want to leave my phone in the car or something because I don't trust a digital device like that to a pouch of someone I don't know or whatever. Like that, that to me, that it's more like a security thing. It's like, no, I'm not putting my phone in your freaking pouch. I don't know who you are. It always bugs me a little bit when you usually, walk into a store and if you used to like a backpack or something, you have to leave your backpack at the front desk. I'm like, you think I'm going to trust the 15-year-old behind the desk with my bag more than you guys trust me. Like it's something weird about that. So Yonder is, okay, I'm just writing the little AI overview. Yonder is an American company founded by Graham Dugani in 2014 that makes secure magnetic locking fabric pouches designed to keep smartphones and other personal devices locked away to create distraction-free, phone-free spaces in schools, music venues, and businesses. So that's kind of interesting. Built a business around that.
Yeah. Well, and that's what this guy did. He built a business around the luxury of you not having your device. Think about it. I mean, where we've always, added more technology. Think about this. I mean, every business that you can think of has added more technology to make their business better. This guy went the other way. He took it away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's doing that? Who's taking away technology for a business and selling it like it's a luxury, like it's a premium product?
Yeah, it really is. Like, most of the places that we go, like we have decks of cards in our car, at home here, in our bike bags and our bikes. A lot of times when we go to breweries, we'll pull out the cards and we'll just sit there and play cards while we have a beer or whatever. And we don't that's one thing I don't find unless there's a business thing, like unless it's a work thing that I have to respond to, I don't usually have my phone out like ever when I'm out and about at a bar, out at dinner, things like that. Like I just don't. So I don't know. Like I don't think I have. I wouldn't want to pay someone to do that because I'm like, I can just leave it in my pocket and it doesn't bother me to do that, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, but we got kids too, right? So it's like, and occasionally they call, and most of the time it's nothing. It's just, hey, Dad, I want to talk. But sometimes it's important. So I'm afraid not to have a phone with me or around me because I don't want to not miss that one call.
That's also true, because if my phone rings, I know it's if my wife's not with me, it's my wife, my parents, or my in-laws, or probably you or one or two of my other friends that actually still phone every once in a while. That's it. So if my phone rings, I check what it is, because I'm like, most of it goes directly to voicemail, and then I want to check because I got to make sure, like, nobody needs to handle anything or there's nothing wrong, right? So
yeah. What's funny is that a lot of my friends say that. I said, dude, you're still about the only one that ever calls me.
Yeah, you and like two other friends of mine phone.
Yeah,
that's about it.
There's maybe three people that call me besides my kids or Courtney. That's it. Other than that, I don't even answer the phone anymore.
Yeah, no, neither do I. It's just blocks everything. But I do appreciate it when you phone, because it's kind of like a novelty, and it's much appreciated. So
yeah, but you and I
something we've lost.
Yeah. You and I grew up that way. I'm like, going, I'll just call him. Matter of fact, Courtney already knows when I get an itch to call somebody. She's like, oh, don't call him right now. All I did was pick up the phone because we said somebody's name, and she knows if I said somebody's name, I'm probably thinking about them. And the next thing I'm going to do is what? I'm going to call them. I ain't talked to them in a while. Yeah. I've got some friends that I call every birthday. Even if I haven't talked to them all year, I call every birthday just to say happy birthday. I'm like going, hey, you probably got a bunch of people on Facebook. You probably got a bunch of people texting you. I wanted you to hear it.
Yeah. It's a good idea. That's a good, I may have to add that to my, but you got to remember to do that. It's not in my,
it's hard.
Not in my DNA or whatever. I got to remember to do that. But
and I'm a fan of FaceTime though. I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of FaceTime now. I'm more likely to FaceTime than phone.
Yeah. It's changed because we're on video all the time. So I actually like FaceTime as well. Like when we're down in Arizona for the winter, we FaceTime, mostly the parents and in-laws and that. We FaceTime because it's really nice to be able to talk and see people. And, sometimes with them, as you see the top of their head or the side of their face or something, but it's still kind of nice.
Yeah. So we would have to ask the other Mike Blaine, because he almost never answers his phone. Right. He'll text us dumb stuff all the time, but he never answers his phone.
Yeah, we do get a lot of texts.
He's a texter, right? He's a super texter. I mean, he's like a hyper, I don't know what you even call it, but super spreader texter. I don't know.
Elite, maybe. I don't know. A prolific texter.
But we have
I
to
am
ask
not
him, all right?
yet.
So, because I ran across, and it's been a little while since, but Chick-fil-A, the fast food,
Yep.
Chick-fil-A, right? They did 2 experiments, 2 challenges, and they called it the cell phone coop challenge. And what they were doing was, when you came in, they were having so much just problems with just things inside, and Chick-fil-A does things differently anyway. But if you put your phone in this pouch and silenced your phone, right, during it, and ate your meal, at the end of your meal, they gave you a free ice cream cone. So
Nice.
that's the thing is for me, I'm like going, would you do that for a bribe? As a bribe, right? As a bribe, like going, if you do this, I'll give you free ice cream. That's a really cheap thing for them to do, but I think it might create a better environment.
Better environment and more memories for the people going there, and then there's more likely maybe to come back. So it's that's interesting because because there are businesses like restaurants, of course, don't want people on their phones. The breweries that we always go to, it's much more casual, but you still want activity, people visiting and hanging out and laughing and all of that. I don't know. I think there's some businesses that are probably hurt by people on their phones more than others. On the other side, if you're going to Home Depot and I'm looking for a part on something and I can go into my phone and find it, I'm more likely to buy. So there's some that actually benefit if you're on your phone.
Yeah, but think about with Chick-fil-A. I imagine families going there. They got all these kids, those type of things. Everybody's on phones. I think it's almost a behavioral change for the family. Like, if we go there, it almost forces us to change our behavior, to talk as a family, to teach kids how to behave without a screen, and in return, they get a reward.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a forcing mechanism for behavioral change.
And it's also a reason to keep your old phones. Because they just walk in and it's like, here, dump 4 or 5 old phones into the bag.
Yeah.
No, those are our phones. And sit at the table and surf the whole time and then go back and get your free ice cream.
So where do you think it helps the most? Like well, first of all, I mean, do you think it's an issue? Does having a phone on you, around you is an issue?
Yeah. Like, I think there's a lot of time and place that would be a lot better off if there were no phones. I'd probably be better off a lot of times if I left my phone, all my devices, made this thing go shut down my iPad, whatever. Probably be better off. And I try and do that consciously, but I don't think I do it enough.
All right. So how long do you think you could go without a device? Now you're in a tough job because you're in a software company, but how long could you go without a device?
Like, I actually think I could I could go from probably like Friday night to Monday morning, but during the week I can't. Like, and it would, because of my job, but it would not be ideal because stuff happens on the weekend. And then, like you said, I would be more, here's what I'm thinking. I would be more likely to be able to say, if I could go to my phone and go severely limit it, and all it would do is let through phone calls and texts from a very short number of people, because the people that I want to make sure that they can get hold of me if they have to. If it did that and it blocked everything else, that would be really interesting, but I'd be way more comfortable with it. And I would probably be more likely to do that than completely go without it, because just like you said, sometimes people have to get a hold of you. And I don't want to be, well, I left my phone at home and then you needed help and I'm not there to help. Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing about our lives right now, right? I don't think it's less phone. I think it's more intentional phone, right? because we do a lot
Yeah.
of like time wasting stuff.
Yeah.
But if you talk about Monday through or Friday through Sunday, that also means you can't use that device to navigate. You can't respond to an emergency. You can't do your banking. Like maybe you just need to transfer money or send the guy Venmo because of whatever, right? You and I were out partying and I don't have any cash on me and I either got to find an ATM or Venmo you, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
What about taking a picture, right? That's something we didn't even think about in the 80s and 90s. And now I'm like, hey, take a picture of that, take a picture of that, you know? We do it like or unconsciously now. That would be gone if you just even those 3 days that you couldn't do those basic things.
Yeah, you know, like we were at a birthday party for a friend on Friday night, and I got to tell you, like there was, I don't know if she really got to really visit with anyone because everywhere she walked, people wanted to have a picture. And so it was just from picture to picture. And then there was people that not just with her, but other groups. I think I got handed phones 4 or 5 times that night. Can you take our picture? Can you take our picture? Can you take our picture?
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was kind of unbelievable. And it's like the guest of honor, I think, was almost just like a celebrity walking around. That's what it felt like with the paparazzi taking pictures. That's a little bit of what it felt like, which was just a little odd. Like it was a little different.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, if you think about it that way, from photography to banking to whatever, the phone isn't just one habit. It's like 40 habits.
Yeah.
At once, right? Because there's always something you're going to, I can do that. Oh, I can do that. Okay. Oh, I can't do it because I don't have the phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, on the flip side, what was kind of fun is we got talking with someone we know. We see him at this restaurant we're at all the time frequently, and we know him to say hi. But at this party, he was there and we actually got talking, and it was amazing. The first 5 minutes, we realized we went to university at the same time, and some of his friends were some of my friends. And we realized, guaranteed, we were probably at the same tables numerous times in like Dewey's and the power plant, like these bars at the university.
Oh yeah.
Numerous times in the 90s. And I probably knew who he was. And I had no idea because that was like, this was 30 years later. Right. And we came across that. And then what did I do? Took a picture of us together and sent it over to a friend that's out in Vancouver right now and saying, hey, do you remember this guy? Right. And it was, and then this little conversation happened. So it's there's sometimes where it actually also connects people and pulls everybody together too. So it's kind of circumstances, right? It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you and I did this show for a year and a half without even meeting.
Yes. Yep.
Exactly. What's the first thing we did?
Exactly. Like
take a picture. Yeah.
Took a picture, and it's on the Facebook page if you want to see it.
Yeah. First picture of us together. That's when I found out he was a schmedium because I brought him a large shirt.
You brought me an extra large.
Well, I'm like going, he looks about my size.
This is me.
Yeah.
Schmedium.
All right. So think about what we've been talking about, though. There's a business model around this where people will actually go because they're forced to kind of give it up, even if it's for 30 minutes or an hour, right?
Yeah.
You were talking about like Friday to Sunday, but maybe there is something that's either freeing, right? Well, let me ask you this. Do you think going phone free is a freeing experience? Makes you feel freer, like liberated? Or is it a business trying to control a customer's behavior while they're in their store?
Oh boy, that's a lot on context, right? Like it really is. But you're kind of going there intentionally for the experience. But also, like you said, I wouldn't be happy going to a place where it's not about the experience. You just go, yeah, you walk in, you're going to have dinner here. You're going to put your phone in here. You're like, nah, screw off. I'm not doing that. Because just like you said, you had a wife that was pregnant and you're waiting for the phone call, right?
Yeah.
there's those times where you do have to be connected. Like, to me, I'm like, I'm an adult. You can say no phones and be like, yeah, I'll keep my phone in my pocket and I won't take it out. And it won't make a noise, but if it buzzes in my pocket, I'll go outside and I'll find out what's going on and make sure that it's not something that I need to deal with. Right.
See, because you're not trying to break up somebody else's experience. Right? You're not trying. I mean, if that's why we're there. So I'm thinking if a business makes that choice, say, I want to go phone free in my establishment, I don't think they start that policy with, how can we ban phones? I want to say, what part of the customer experience does the phone damage? And if you feel obligated to go outside, it's because you know you're damaging somebody else's experience about not having the phone.
Yeah, and I think there was a time where people would naturally do that, and I don't think that's here anymore.
Oh.
But I think there was a time where, more often than not, like I said, ring or off, or if it does ring, you're stepping outside, and I don't think that happens much anymore.
We were in Omaha, and there was, I bet, 15 people on the street. Well, when I talk on the phone, I either got some earbuds in or AirPods in, or I hold the phone to my ear, like we used to.
Yeah.
Anymore, people will hold the phone on speakerphone,
Oh,
a foot and a half from their head,
yeah.
and
I
yell
find
at
that,
the phone. Yell at the phone and let everybody hear the whole conversation.
yeah, to me, that's grandstanding, and it annoys the hell out of me because there's no purpose other than I'm a special flower and you can all listen to my conversation.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff bugs me. Like, but that's I think the place we've gotten to is that there was, I think I think at one time there was a lot more respect for other people, but also just being conscious of other people. And it's just straight up politeness. Is it, is it a rule? It doesn't have to be a rule, but today it probably has to be a rule because there's I think generations that have grown up with this idea that they can do whatever they want. And unless you make it a rule, and that's a completely different mindset than I think what we grew up with. Right. I wouldn't even wear a hat inside to eat. Right. Like, just different time.
When I think about people that do that, just it's almost like yelling in public is like disturbing peace or whatever like that. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Defend it. Defend why that's okay or why we should be accepting of it.
I can't, because I don't see there's
You can't defend the indefensible.
Yeah, unless there was some medical reason where the phone only is able to do that. No, I probably would be, but there's that to me is there is no reason. And I think that's why things like that, that's why I think it annoys me, because there isn't a reason and we all know it. We all know that there isn't a reason you're doing that.
Okay, so what about this? Can you convince parents that ice cream is an adequate compensation for them having to talk to their kids at Chick-fil-A? Can you do that? I've invented this fun new game called Defend the Invincible. How do you convince a parent that like, they should get ice cream if they have to talk to you?
I don't think I looked at it that way. Even when you told me about it, it's not that, like, I just looked at it as, oh, that's a fun idea. And it's an easy way probably to convince the kids to be off of their devices. Now, I will say, if a device is silent, I do appreciate them sometimes in restaurants if there's kids there, because it sometimes will keep the kids totally quiet, right? That's kind of nice.
Yeah, I was just trying to come up with something where a parent would go like, no, my kids don't get ice cream when they're not blah, 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 or whatever rule they have about parenting. I don't want to get in somebody's parenting, but could we convince them that ice cream is the best way to keep them in the conversation?
Well, it is bribery. Like I get that, but I think there's probably a lot of that going on today. So, it's just how it is. Where, when I grew up, it would be, first of all, you don't have a phone. And if I had a phone, it wasn't coming out of your pocket and there was no ifs, ands, or buts, right? Like it's just how it was,
All right. So
Different
do you
world.
think then phones are destroying the human connection or making us more connected?
I think it's kind of like you can make the same argument for the internet. You can make the same argument for AI. You can or is it making us smarter or dumber? Is it making us more connected or less connected? It's a little bit of both. I would say that the phones are tilting too far towards disconnection, but there is a segment where it actually increases connection, that you're reaching out to people more frequently, maybe people you haven't talked to in a long time. So there is an element. I just think that it's probably fairly heavily weighted in the other direction.
All right. So just to bring this to a close, I've learned a lot, but do you think there is one moment that should always be protected from phones? Just
I think it's probably a ton of moments.
Name one.
Dinner in a nice restaurant.
All right.
Like that should be. Movies.
So
Absolutely.
dinner in a nice. All right. So wait a second. Dinner in a nice restaurant. I know there's some certain foods that I don't know all the names of that I know I would not like the taste. If I see something in the menu description and I don't understand what the word is, can I not look it up?
Well, see, that's the thing when I say nice restaurant.
I do it all the time. Yeah.
I'm referring to a restaurant where they actually have someone that'll come to your table and serve you. Perfect person to ask.
Yeah, but he may not know all the ingredients or whatever, or the one thing I don't like. If it has what's that thing I don't like?
Well, then you got a problem. Then I got a problem with the training of the staff at the restaurant. That's what I have a problem with.
Maybe so. So what about a client meeting? Would you pull your phone out?
Virtually never, unless there was like a direct, almost like a request. Like if it was like, hey, do you have in your calendar open for next Thursday or whatever? And then it's like, okay, I'm going to check because it's got like, other than that, no. But I will say, okay, there's one place, a movie. There should never be a phone brought out, right? Because even the brightness from the phone, someone pulls their phone out 3 rows in front of you and it's this bright light. Yeah. There's never a reason. I would love to see movie theaters like have a way to literally just block it. If you don't like that, don't go to a movie, because that one's really bothers me.
Yeah. So I haven't been to a movie in a long time, but I'm the type of guy now, if I'm watching something here at the house, I'm like going, where else do I know them from? And I'll look up that person and just try to remember where I remember them from. I would probably do that at the movie, and I'm like 3 rows in front of you.
Yeah. But it really does take you
back. Yeah.
Like, and I get that like I'm compelled. I watch show. I'm like, oh, I recognize that person. Where are they from? But it does break the show. It does break the story. It does break the experience. And then on top of it, in a movie theater, there's other people that you're kind of breaking the experience. Now, what's kind of funny at a concert is, the person comes out on stage and it's like everyone is like 1,000 phones are all up like this to film, right? Yeah. It's like, okay, do you watch the show? Some people watch film the entire show. No, I do like to I'll usually do a couple pictures and maybe like 1 10-second clip, because I do like it's a fun reminder in my reel, like in my phone, of being going there. But I'm very conscious of that's all, because I need to enjoy this in person. That's why I came here. This is you're disconnecting yourself from doing that, right? So it's I'm sure there's a lot of other, like, you don't need to have your phone out at a wedding or a funeral during the during the actual like ceremony or whatever. There's lots of times I think it would probably not make sense. Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, there's a lot of times it's like that would be, I think, a little bit strange.
Hey, think about it. During those events, we all take these videos that we never watch. So why even take the video?
Why even take the video? Yeah, that's
Even
true.
take the video.
That's exactly it.
All right. So here's what I think I learned, right? That according to Chick-fil-A, that human connection is worth one ice cream cone.
An ice cream cone. Yeah, it's the value of human connection. It's
So
ice cream, and I
if you give
don't
me
even know if it's
two-
real ice cream.
yeah, if you give me 2, I might even ask you how your day went.
Yeah, though that's it's like you put away the phone, you get the ice cream, and for every question, you get a Smartie to put on your phone. Oh, M&M. You
Yeah.
guys don't have Smarties down. Different type of thing.
Yeah, we had Smarties, a
I'll-
little
I'll say
tart ones.
Smarties are different up here. Smarties are like M&Ms that are just the chocolate kind. That's what Smarties
Oh
are.
yeah, Smarties down
And
here, the little tart like candy.
Yeah. So the M&Ms would be good on ice cream. I don't know about the American Smarties may not be as good on ice cream as the Canadian Smarties are.
All right, final thoughts from you before we call it a day. Remember, 250's coming up. That's a bourbon episode.
Oh, yeah. That's it's the whiskey episode because I'll be drinking scotch that episode. So
All right.
I'm just
Whiskey.
tiny adjustment there. I don't even know if I have bourbon. Oh, I do. I got some Russells here, I think.
All right, we'll do
forgot I had
whiskey. Yeah, we'll open it up to whiskey.
It will be the whiskey episode, and you can do bourbon, and I will do nice scotch, and you might want to tune in for that one because it's
just know
always
that
an exciting
every
one.
time we get in trouble, or I do. I get in trouble because I leave that door after a whiskey episode, and then I fumble through the rest of the day.
It's guaranteed to be possibly off the rails a little bit. So make sure you join us for that one. But we did learn this one. We're just calling the whiskey episode. It was, I think it was maybe 100 was the beer and whiskey episode. that was maybe not the best plan.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's just keep it at whiskey.
We'll just keep it a whiskey. We won't do the beer and whiskey episode because that's what you learn from an extra 150 episodes.
We're so wise now, so wise. So hey,
just-
really
yeah.
appreciate you. If you want to be
You
part
too,
of
man.
this experience, go to mikeandblaine.com. Go check out our merch. Go like, subscribe, tell a couple friends.
Join us next week for 248, week after 249. Then the 250, you got to be there for the 250. That is the one you definitely don't want to miss.
Check out their website at mikeandblaine.com. Then subscribe to the podcast and buy these guys a beer.